If you're a makeup artist or hairstylist who works on set or on location, you'll know that from time to time you're doing the makeup in one place and then moving somewhere else to actually shoot. So it could even be in a studio where you're doing the makeup in one spot and then moving over to shoot in another spot, but it could be in location where you have to actually travel quite a distance. Now, when you do that, you don't want to carry your entire makeup kit with you. What you need is a set bag. And in this video, you'll learn all about what I carry in my set bag and what you might want to carry in your set bag. So the times that you might need to use a set bag, if you're shooting and you're doing the makeup in one location and then moving to shoot somewhere else, but also if you're assisting another makeup artist. And I find that assistants will often ask me, what do I need to bring with me? And I'll always say, just bring your brushes. And I always hope that they bring their set bag along as well. I always have mine, and so maybe they will use my set bag. So I'm thinking in particular of those sort of shoots where I've got multiple talent. So I will be there doing all of the hair and makeup, and I'll have my assistant go and be on standby on set so they can be doing any touch-ups that are necessary. If you get booked to do a job like that, it will really be helping out the person that you are assisting if you've got your own set bag. So let's have a look at what goes into a set bag. Well, firstly, it's about the sort of bag that you use. And this is a hair tools bag that I use. I've been using this one for a long time. I like it because it has a good sturdy handle there, and it also has a shoulder strap. So I can pop this over my shoulder and walk around onto set, and it's quite comfortable. It has two sections in it, so both of them are zippered with covers. I'll try and show you this one. The other section there, and it also has all of these compartments along the front and compartments on the side where I can put products as well. So what do I have in my set bag? Firstly, I don't carry a lot of products in it all the time. So the idea of the set bag is once you've done the talent's hair and makeup, you just pack in the products that you're going to need to touch up with that particular talent, model, actor, whoever it is, and you just pop those products into the bag and take that with you. What makes a set bag really important and really cool is all the additional things that you have in it, so that when the crew says, does anybody have this or does anybody have that, you're the one that can put up your hand and go, yep, I've got it right here. So my set bag has kind of evolved over time, and whenever there is one of those questions on set, does anybody have a pair of scissors or does anybody have such and such a thing, if I don't have it, I make a little note to pop that into my set bag for next time. So having said that, a lot of the things are makeup and hair related in my set bag, but then there are also things that are kind of unrelated as well, but they're really useful to have on set. So let's firstly go through these compartments on the front of my set bag. So in here, I pop the things that I'm going to need to grab hold of very quickly. So I have in there a bottle of hand sanitizer, and I also have brush cleaner, which is just in a little spray bottle. I have some section clips because often, particularly if you're shooting outside, you might find that the talent's hair is blowing all weird places. So having a couple of section clips so you can pin the hair in the way you want it from the back if they're just shooting from the front can be really useful. I have a pair of scissors in there, and this is probably the most requested item that I pull out of my set bag. I have some blotting papers in here. They're a little bit difficult to grab out at the moment. So some blotting papers in there. Obviously, you know, if your talent is getting shiny, you're going to want to blot away that shine before you add powder. A spatula so I can scoop out cream products or lipsticks, and a little container with some cotton tips in, which are also really useful for touching up makeup. I also have in here some glasses cleaner spray. Now, sometimes this is actually more for my use than my talent's use. It is great to have on hand. Often we're shooting on the beach, and if any of you wear glasses, you'll know that when you're on the beach, your glasses kind of get that salty film on them, so that's really useful. In here, I also have a little nail file that's something that's useful as well. And within these little compartments here, I often store brushes in there as well. So on the sides, on one of the side pockets, this one here, this is where I take everything that I'm going to need to touch up hairstyling. So in there I have hair lacquer and a brush out hairspray, and then I have some hair tools. So I have a smoothing hairbrush, a kind of a teasing brush, and a tail comb. So just general hair brushes and tools that I might need there. On the other side, I have drinking straws. These are plastic. Once I have used up my supply of plastic straws, I won't be buying them anymore. Let's save the ocean and reduce our use of single-use plastics. But I do have drinking straws there. Obviously, if you've done a nice lip on your talent, you don't want them to be messing that up when they are having a drink. And the other thing I have in here is a lint roller. Very often when I am working on shoots now, there isn't a separate wardrobe stylist, so quite often the talent are required to just wear their own clothes. So it's a really great idea to have a lint roller so you can just get off any fluff that they have on their clothes. Okay, so then in the front pocket is where I put all of the makeup products that I'm going to be taking, and the only thing that I really carry in there all the time is a couple of blot powders. So these are just MAC blot powders in a couple of different shades, and I have one small palette in here which just has bronzer, highlighter and blush. So often I find when I'm out on set I do need to warm up the talent a little bit of bronzer or a little bit more blush is something that's often needed there. I do have a lip palette that I carry in here as well. It's just not in my set bag at the moment, but just a small lip palette with a few generic lip colors in it. In this side, I also carry tissues and baby wipes. Baby wipes after scissors is probably the next most common item that I have in my set bag. So I just restock this from Large Things. So I'm good to go with that there. So on the other side is where I have all of the general items, and I carry them in several just clear pouches. So this one contains a whole lot of disposables and various other things. So I've got cotton pads in there. I have powder puffs, more blotting tissues, more nail files, not going to run out of these things, a glasses cleaner cloth, spare razor there just in case that's ever needed, sponges and more powder puffs. I also have in here safety pins of various different sizes. That's something that does get requested quite a bit as well, and double-sided tape. So along with the lint roller, they're kind of things that would be used more for wardrobe, but they are very, very good to have in your kit as well. Now I will put a list of all of these products in the description down below, and if you're looking at this video on my blog, there will also be a list on the blog as well of all of the different things that I do have in my set bag. So the next thing is a collection of brushes. So this is just a little zip-up bag, just with a whole bunch of spare brushes. So I like to carry spares, but I will take the brushes that I have used. So a powder brush, concealer brush, a lip brush for each talent. And I have a whole bunch of Ziplock bags in here as well. And what I generally tend to do is to pop each talent's brushes in one of these large Ziplock bags, and I pop their name on it, so I always carry a Sharpie as well. So I have a big collection of Ziplock bags. I pop their brushes in there so that I don't have to keep cleaning brushes as I go. If I'm working with multiple talent, each one of them will have their own bag with their brushes in that. So the last thing is just another bag with a whole bunch of other things in it, and this also runs in that useful things to have category. So in here we have lip balm, we have nail polish remover, and I just carry those little pads that you can use to remove nail polish. We have bug spray. Here in Australia, we're often shooting on the beach, so you know there are often bugs about, so having bug spray is really good. Speaking of being here in Queensland and on the beach, obviously sunscreen is something that's really vital. And of course, as makeup artists, we are responsible for our talent skin, not just the face, but all of the skin that is exposed. So if you are shooting outside, make sure that you do check with your talent if they want sunscreen, but not only the talent, also the crew. So it's a really good idea to carry plenty of sunscreen if you know you're going to be shooting outside, and go around to the crew every couple of hours and just ask them, would you like some sunscreen, to each person. So even if they've said no earlier, they might forget that they do need to reapply it. So I carry a couple of different types of sunscreen. I have just one generic one, but I also have another one which is a clear sunscreen. So it's one of those ones that is not all greasy and shiny, so it dries quite matte. That is a specific one for face, and that's also really good for if you are working with kids or people with acne-prone skin. The next things that I have in here is deodorant, and I have a deodorant for men and for women. That's another thing that I do get asked for quite frequently. I have body and hand lotion, and then I have dental floss and breath mints or Tic Tacs mints. If your talent has just had lunch, you might notice that they've got a little bit of food in their teeth, so having dental floss with you is a really great idea there. Lastly, there are a couple of empty pockets on here, so these are big enough for me to carry my water bottle, so I always put my water bottle in one of those pockets, and the one on the other side I can put my mobile phone and my keys in there. So, oh no, there's a couple more things in here. It's a bit like a never-ending bag. So the next one that I have is a little box here which has a whole bunch of hair accessories, so hair ties, bobby pins, hair ties in various different colors in there, and bobby pins. And the last thing I have in here is something that has made me very popular more than once on set, and that is the fan. So often when you're on set, particularly for me here in Australia, it can be very, very hot, and being able to hand out a fan, so I carry several of them, to not only the talent but the client. So sometimes the clients will be sitting off to one side, watching the monitor, watching all of the action, and if it is a hot day and you can go and hand out fans, they are absolutely going to love you. So that's it. That's everything that I carry around in my set bag. If you have any questions, make sure you pop them in the comments box down below. And as I said, there will be a full list of everything down there in the description. Thanks for watching.